So, what stoneware does, those of you who haven't been here before won't have a clue what this stoneware stuff is. I know some of you already got some of our bits and bobs, we've already talked about that. But those of you who have no idea, let me start from the beginning. Stoneware basically, in one sentence, mimics cooking in a brick oven. Okay, so when you go to your Pizza Express or whatever, you see the big clay kiln there with the fire and the coal and all that going on. We can't have those in our kitchens. Well, most of us can't. I certainly can't. My kitchen's the size of a cupboard, so I don't have one of those. But what stones do is they give you exactly the same quality as if you cooked in one of those clay kilns in your own oven. Whether that's gas, electric, halogen, fan, non-fan, whatever. If you cook in a stone, it will come out like one of these kilns, okay, which is really cool. They have several different features which kind of combine to give you this fantastic quality to your cooking. The first of which is this seasoning. You'll notice, this one isn't actually that seasoned because, as I said, I've already had it for a few months, but they start to turn dark on the inside, and what that is doing is it's becoming naturally non-stick. Okay, now who's got non-stick frying pans at home? Teflon or Tefal or anything like that? Okay, we love our non-stick, don't we? It's great, it's easy to use, easy to clean, but it's a little bit delicate, it's a bit fragile. You can't use your metal implements on it, you can't use your Brillo pad on it. In my household, I can't let my husband wash it because I know he'll go for the Brillo pad and then I'd have to kill him and that would be a shame. So you know, they are quite fragile. But stone, once it's seasoned, it is as non-stick as your non-stick pan, but you can put a pizza slicer on it, you can scratch it to death, you can Brillo pad the hell out of it, and you're not going to take off that non-stick coating, which is absolutely fantastic. Also, you don't leave the bottom bits of fish fingers stuck to it like you do when you do them on metal trays, which I absolutely love. Okay. So that non-stick is the first thing they do. The second thing they do is they heat up very, very evenly to the same temperature as your oven, and they cook your food very, very thoroughly. So, if you were to do a frozen pizza on our pizza stone, it will come out like something from Pizza Express. You will not end up with a rock-hard crust that you have to go and find the hacksaw to cut through, and the middle bit's all sort of soggy. It will be absolutely beautifully crisped up all the way underneath. Baking on stones is fantastic for that same reason. You get very even rising. You don't end up with one end of your brownie being soggy and the other end being dry. So that's absolutely fab. So that's great with the sort of even temperature. But my favourite thing about stones is that they actually circulate heat and moisture around the food as it cooks. So, for example, if you want to cook some chicken for your tea, anybody vegetarian in here? Okay, I won't look at you when I'm talking about chicken. I did actually do that at a show. I looked at someone in the eye and said, now, when you're cooking your chicken, and she got really upset. So I have to make sure I don't do that now. Room full of vegans telling them about cutting through chicken bones or whatever. So, yeah, cook some chicken for your dinner. You can put your chicken breast on a piece of stone, no foil, no sauce, nothing. They will cook beautifully, they will still be juicy, they won't dry out and go rubbery like they do when you do them on a metal tray, which is really, really key. It's fantastic. You want to do a roast chicken in one of these deep ones, you get a beautiful crispy skin, and when you carve into the breast, it doesn't all crumble and fall to bits, it stays together, it's really juicy. Joints don't shrink, joints of beef, pork, that kind of thing, they don't fizzle down to nothing. You still get enough juices out of them to make your gravy, should you wish, but you don't end up with some kind of dried old boot in the middle, which is fantastic. Fish all cooks in its own moisture. Again, with salmon, you don't need foil, you don't need sauce, you just pop it in and it all cooks beautifully and it just falls apart with a fork. It's just so, so easy. And the other thing about this sort of rotating the heat and the moisture around the food is things that you normally have to turn, you now don't. So, sausages, I have an eye-level grill in my kitchen, and making sausages involve me standing like this, staring at the grill, turning my sausages like this, watching my life ticking by, cooking my sausages, getting incredibly bored. Right now, cooking sausages, put them in a piece of stone, put them in the oven, close the door, and actually while I'm closing the door, I'm reaching for the wine. So that I can just do that now, and I can go off and enjoy my wine while my sausages cook themselves, because the heat just circulates around, which is fantastic. Also chips, things like that, you don't have to keep getting them out and doing the shimmy shake. You can just leave them in and they'll cook all the way around, so that's fantastic. Now, loads of you here have got different bits of stone, different shapes, different sizes, all that kind of thing. I have made a little book showing you all the different things that stoneware can do, because I've had people before at these shows who say, I've got a pizza stone, yeah, I do pizza on it, and, you know, what, do you have pizza every day? What do you mean you only do pizza on it? So, I thought I'd show you all the different things you can do with your stones, and I also want to introduce this one to you, because this is my favourite, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. So, here we go. That's a pizza on a piece of stone. I'm sure you can all tell that. By the way, these are little comments that people at shows who have these stones have written about what they've done with them. So if you want to have a little look through, you can see kind of other customer reviews and see what people think. So we've got a pizza. We then have, chips and roast potatoes. Okay, roast potatoes on stones are amazing because you don't have to parboil them. You can do them straight from raw. You just cut them up, chuck them on the stone, spritz them with oil so they're much healthier for you as well. They take about 40 minutes from raw. They're just amazing. This is a real time saver for me. I would never have bothered with roast potatoes midweek. I'd have told my husband where to shove them. But now I can do them really, really quickly and easily. And this one is even cooler with our French fry cutter. Now you literally just get your big spud. You don't even have to peel it. You just French fry chopper it. I would have it there and I'd show them. And then you just chuck them on the stone, spritz them with the oil again from raw in like half an hour, 40 minutes. They are absolutely fab. Okay, and there's quite a few comments on those. I think lots of people with stoneware do potatoes. Joint of meat, we talked about that. That's just a joint of lamb in one of our pieces. Baking, we've got brownies here in one of our bar pans and a flapjack there, which just turned out. It didn't need baking paper or anything, just came out, which was amazing. This is a toad in the hole from raw. That's raw sausages and raw batter mix poured into the rectangular baker. Became a toad in the hole, so you didn't have to intervene with it, didn't have to do the sausages first. Yorkshire puds here, they do genuinely come out like that. They are amazing. You don't have to preheat your stone, you don't have to heat it up with oil, you just pour your batter mix into your stone and that happens. It's amazing. The one-pan breakfast. If you haven't tried the one-pan breakfast, you don't know what you're missing. Chuck your sausages in first, a little bit later, add your bacon, your mushrooms, your tomatoes, whatever else. Right at the end, scrape it all to one end, break the eggs onto the hot stone and it cooks up through. So again, you've got one dish with your whole breakfast in rather than 18,000 pounds everywhere, bean juice dripping down. Ooh. Yeah, who's got 50 quid? We'll sort that out in a minute. Oh. So the whole place is coming down. Okay, so your one-pan breakfast, that's absolutely fab. This is coming on now to my favourite thing about stoneware, which I'm going to talk to you, as I say, about my amazing one in a minute. But this is what we call chuck and bung, which is literally chuck it together, bung it in the oven. And it basically means make it up as you go along. So, for example, here we had sausages, 2 cans of baked beans, an onion, 2 peppers and some paprika, which I cut up into small pieces and put in the dish. That was it. Put it in the oven and it turned into a bean casserole. It was amazing. And my glass of wine was joining in there as well. There's quite a theme with my cooking. There's always a glass of wine to hand. These were just 2 curries. I mean, I know they're only jars of sauce, but again, that's raw chicken in that dish, and that's raw chicken and raw peppers in the other dish. Curry sauce on top, in the oven, glass of wine, in the living room. Curry is ready. So, absolutely fantastic. Now, we get on to the pièce de résistance. The amazing magic pot. We do call it the magic pot. Now, I don't know if you can actually see this from here, but this is spaghetti bolognese made with everything from raw. Raw mince, raw onions, raw peppers, raw mushrooms, cold sauce, and raw pasta. The pasta is in there as well, raw, okay? You put the whole lot in there, you take your pasta sauce over the top, add a little bit of water, pop your lid on, 40 minutes later you have got spaghetti bolognese. Now I know lots of you are saying, yeah, I know, but spaghetti bolognese doesn't take 40 minutes, it takes you 15. Yes, but that's 15 minutes of you being stood at the stove doing that, right? My 40 minutes is me on the sofa doing that. You can't taste it afterwards. No. But yeah, so again, it's just like saying, you know, you can put this together in the morning before you go to work or whatever. You can literally stack it all up in the dish, put the lid on, put it in the fridge. When you come home, all you have to do is pour the sauce on, put it in the oven. You go off, you do the bath, you do the homework, you do whatever it is you need to do. Your spaghetti bolognese is doing its own thing. So, you know, it just saves you so much effort. And then this is a similar thing with a risotto, with everything raw, the rice, the sauce, everything all in there together, raw. Now, let me show you it. And I do this. So, this is the bake I'm talking to you about. You've got your bottom half and your top half. But what is really exciting about this is not only will it do this amazing chuck and bung everything in together, but it's actually 2 pieces of stoneware as well. You see how this the knob on here is actually long and thin? That will fit through the gaps in the shelves in your oven. So You can actually do your chicken in that and your spuds in that, side by side, if you want to. You can also do what I call double-decker cooking. If you don't have space in your oven to do lots of different things, you could put steaks in the bottom there, you can put this on top and do your spuds above it. So you've actually got double-decker cooking, two things cooking one on top of the other. We've had casseroles in here and giant Yorkshire pudding in here. Serve the casserole in the giant Yorkshire pudding. We've even had main course in here, dessert in here. You know, whatever you want to do, you can cook them both at the same time, so they're both ready at the same time. Now, I'm not going to fib to you. This is the most expensive piece of stoneware that we have, but it's actually two pieces of stoneware. So when you look through the catalogue, you'll think, well, hang on, these are sort of 20, 30 quid, this is twice the price. Yeah, but you get two pieces. You're actually getting a deep stone and a shallow stone with the added bonus that you can do the double-decker cooking and you can do the chuck and bung with it that way up, okay? So that explains why the price is that little bit higher. But the good news for you guys is you don't have to pay that high price, because actually most people I know who have these have got them half price or even free when they've had their own cooking show. So if you get to the end of the evening and you're absolutely desperate to try one of these but you just can't afford it, then by all means come and talk to me about having a show, or take advantage of that first day, try before you buy. You could order one of these tonight, play with it for a couple of weeks, decide whether you want it or not. You know, you're not losing anything. You can send it back if it doesn't do what you want. But I absolutely guarantee you are going to love this. We're going to use it tonight to make our curry in. So I'll show you how we do the fantastic chuck and bung in this dish. And yeah, you'll love it. So that's the end of my stoneware talk.